Clash of the Titans.
Apparently he's banging everything. There's been the talk of this Super League almost developing with the top next big fight to be the one, you know, the title shot. He destroyed him, made him quit. There is a rematch clause. What's going to control wouldn't sanction it, but it deflects things a bit from the heat that was on Tyson Fury. Crawford versus Errol Spence.
It could be Joe Joyce's undoing.
Welcome to another episode of Bloodlust Boxing. I'm Sav.
And I'm Bez.
Today's episode we talk about big band Zhilei ZHANG versus Joe Joyce, the Juggernaut. This weekend, the two Titans collide in a cotton box. What a fight we've got this weekend! I'm excited. But
Monsters.
Before we get to that, why does it look like you just robbed the bank or something? Like,
Hang on, what are you saying? You don't like my teepee hat? What?
You got a green on.
Keeps my head warm, man. I like that haircut.
You definitely.
It's going. It's going. I don't even want it anymore.
It's gone.
It's gone.
Yeah. And again, actually, before we move on as well, massive shout out to all the new subscribers. If you haven't already hit that like button, now subscribe. Almost at 200 subs now. Almost at 200.
There.
And what do we say when we get to 200? We'll be doing a giveaway. We'll be giving away one of these tops. Well, a version of these tops. I think this is like version 1. And then I think we'll
Get the 2.0 out.
2.0. Yeah, so we'll probably throw out a question in the next couple of days when we get to 200 subs. But anyway, let's get into it. Joe Joyce.
It's a cracking fight. It's a cracking fight. I don't think anyone saw this fight coming, you know, like in terms of matchup, I gotta give it to
No
like,
one's really slated it, have they? Normally when you get a fight, you always get someone who's slating the card, aren't you?
Yeah. Nice. It's a great matchup.
And it's two fighters, very similar in style. Big punches, strong. Zhang's, is he a little bit taller than Joe Joyce? Or
Zhang's
just a little bit shorter?
6'6", and Joyce is 6'6", so same size. Yeah.
Great amateur record as well. Zhang,
Yeah.
they both fought in the Olympics, and I think they both got silver as well, didn't they?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
So
I mean,
good pedigree behind them.
Clash of the Titans.
We've been a fan of Joe Joyce for a while now, and Zhang, he's definitely grown on people. I think this week he's been doing the rounds, and he's
Bosh!
he was at a Chinese takeaway, wasn't he? And he's been apparently he's banging everything. So it's, he's been getting involved in the banter a bit, but he's a likable character.
Yeah, he seems that.
But
We'll
does he have a
have to
chance?
get him out. Get him out to have a drink.
No,
It sounds like jokes.
Well,
We won't need no bouncers around.
we won't need no backup. We'll have him.
Yeah. Have you seen this fella, mate? You want a piece of this?
You won't need shoes to get in anywhere, will you? You just walk straight in and trainers and a cap. But
That's it.
anyway, let's get into it. Who do you see winning this fight? I mean, let's just jump straight into it.
I mean, I don't.
Is there
I
a
don't even know
favourite?
I think most people's favourite is Joe Joyce to win, and I think that's probably more down to the fact that he's been more publicised. Like a lot of Zhang's fights
in the UK,
yeah, a lot of Zhang's fights.
his profile's jumped quite a bit, hasn't it, Joe Joyce?
It has.
When he in that Joseph Parker fight, he got a lot of respect, and he's definitely crossed over into the mainstream now, hasn't he?
Yeah, for sure.
But that's through his boxing ability, his determination, his strength. And
his engine is ridiculous as well.
For a man that big, you'd expect him to get tired, but he just keeps coming. Terminator, man, it just keeps coming.
It is. I don't know. It's gonna be ridiculous. I would love to call a favourite for this. Like
I think we were almost saying beforehand, Joe Joyce is the clear favourite, but having looked at it, thought about it, Hrgović versus Zhang was a great fight, and I think most people said they believe Zhang won that fight.
Yeah.
I certainly thought he did against Hrgović.
Same.
But he didn't get the nod, did he?
Nah. I thought that was a bit unfair there. Bit of favouritism.
But I don't think that was the best version of Hrgović for Zhang fought. That's the only thing.
Yeah, but nonetheless, it doesn't matter, does it? And on the night, he wasn't peak performance. He kept turning his back.
He did turn away. Yeah, that's
the amount of times he turned away and looked like he didn't want to. I mean, I know he had a lot going on, but at the end of the day, if you're not prepared to fight.
Yeah, but I mean, he lost his dad. I think it was within that year, and he didn't look right to me personally. He even looked to me like he might be carrying some sort of an illness or something, or even though he didn't complain about it. But as you said, you're in the ring, and both men were in there, and Zhang, just dominated, didn't he?
I think he was definitely the more active fighter, for sure. Zhang's a southpaw as well. That could be Joyce's undoing.
Yeah, that could be a bit tricky for him. No one likes a southpaw.
Nah, I don't know. What do you think? How do you think this fight plays out?
For me, when I'm looking at a fight week, I'm looking at the profile of the boxer. How do they look? Do they look confident? Because for me, the mental side of it is a massive thing. And Joyce doesn't really give much away, but there has been a little thing in his eyes that I've seen, a little glint in his eyes where it's kind of a slight bit of nerves. I've never really seen any nerves. Even when he fought Dubois, Joyce didn't look nervous at all. But this week, there's something there. I'm looking at him. There's a little bit. There's a lot riding on this fight.
That's what I was going to say. Do you reckon it's down to the pressure mounting on him, though?
A lot more eyes on him as well. Yeah, a lot more media attention. So potentially,
he's having to do so many more interviews. Like, unfortunately for him, I know he's
coming in lighter as well. He's a stone lighter than when he fought Joseph Parker.
That could be interesting, actually.
Yeah.
See if he keeps some of that.
But apparently that's just down to where he's been training so hard in the gym. And they started the camp earlier, so he does look more trimmed and like his physique does look a bit more muscly. So maybe it is a case of they've had a long camp and that's why.
Starting to look like me now, isn't he?
But yeah, it's put that cap back on. that cap was too tight on your head, wasn't it? No,
it was cutting off the circulation.
But there's the other stuff going on. There's been the talk of this Super League almost developing with the top heavyweights, with Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury. Rumours, speculation. But that's been in the background, and it's kind of, you've seen it's annoyed him because he's not being. And again, for me, it plays into that whole mindset and that psychological kind of thing, because why is he fighting? Okay, yeah, you're fighting for a paycheck, but you want to fight. You want your next big fight to be the one, the title shot.
Yeah.
And if he's thinking, well, he's probably thinking, I'm never going to get that title shot. So, is there that thing of self-sabotage? Well, if I'm not going to get it, then why bother, sort of thing. So, I don't know.
You got to feel for him, ain't you? You got to feel for him because at the moment, everyone always is all talking about the massive four, but the guys who are mandatories for these positions, like that, and some of them have been there for a long time.
Yeah, and he fought Daniel Dubois. He destroyed him, made him quit.
Yeah,
but Daniel Dubois is ahead of him in the rankings.
That's what I can't get, because again, like, Daniel Dubois did not look good in his last fight, and was lucky to get out of it. Yeah.
He's in line to fight Usyk. So yeah, I think there's a lot going on there. It's just how much of it is filtering through to Joyce, and how much is going to affect his game. Zhang, he'll be wanting to win this as well to get that big title shot. He wanted to fight Anthony Joshua, and it looked like for a while they were building to actually make that fight between Anthony Joshua and Zhang. The rumours are that Joshua.
And they realised that was quite a dangerous fight.
The team didn't want it. I personally think it would have been a great fight for Joshua, but I've said it in so many videos now, because of the styles. I think Joshua's got the speed there to destroy.
He likes going against bigger guys.
Yeah, he's perfect for Joshua, whereas Joshua doesn't really do as well against those smaller fighters. So yeah, but yeah, they were building for that for Zhang. So, and Zhang will want to win the fight to be in the mix with those other top heavyweights and to try and get one of those title shots. Force his way in. But there is a rematch clause from what I'm hearing.
Is there? I don't know.
If Joe Joyce loses, apparently there is a rematch clause, but I don't know if there's one the other way. So if Zhang loses, I don't know if there is a rematch clause there. I don't think there is. But
it wouldn't surprise me.
Or maybe there might be.
They were keeping it on the hush from what I saw earlier in interviews. They didn't want to clarify that.
But anyway, let's get into it. Let's make a prediction. We've been a bit off the last couple. We've had a couple of dodgy predictions. We was on a massive run. It was like 9 out of 10, and then we had little petering runs. We're still picking the right fighters, but it's just the rounds and that kind of thing. So it's a case of, do we just pick the fighter to win, or do we go deep and pick the method and the round?
I call it. I got the cojones, I'll go for it. I'm gonna go for. I think it's gonna be a Joe Joyce win by either very late stoppage or points decision.
I'm gonna go on the safe side, or what I think the safe side is. I think I'm gonna go Joe Joyce win, as I said, stoppage. I think
early, late.
I think I'm probably gonna go late stoppage. But as I said, it's not gonna be easy.
Nah.
And I said this. I've got that. That I've got that little tingly feeling. When Warrington fought Lopez. And I called it right then. I said Lopez is going to win. Everyone was saying Warrington's to win. No one predicted that. I've got that little tingly feeling where I'm just like, something just doesn't seem right. So I don't know. I'm going Joe Joyce, but
part of me slightly feels that Zhang has the better footwork, And
really?
I was watching a couple of his fights earlier on, and I feel like he has got slightly better footwork. That's the one thing with Joyce. He's a bit wooden. He's a bit robotic.
Yeah.
That could be his undoing, because so far he hasn't gone up against people who can take a punch as good as him. And Zhang's one of them guys. So.
Yeah, that's true. He was cutting off the ring a bit against Djokovic. So, and he's had a lot of professional fights. And I think 24-1, one draw. That was Jerry Forrest, wasn't it? Yeah, and he put Jerry Forrest down, didn't he, in that fight?
Yeah.
And he's only had the one loss, which was to Hrgovic in the professional game. So, but let's have a quick look through the undercard. Mikaela Mayer first in. Actually, he's a late replacement. So she's got fighting Lucy. Is it Wildheart? Yeah, Lyndon Artu's been pulled from the card. The British Boxing Board and Control wouldn't sanction her for this fight because of apparently because of a permanent contact lens within her eye. So,
it's a shame, isn't it? It's a shame. I was looking forward to that fight.
I wear contact lenses, but I've never heard of a permanent one. So, it's interesting because I've done sparring with contact lenses in, and it's not ideal.
Did you ever get asked about it though?
Not the level. Not the level I was sparring at. But I think only once, but actually probably only twice it came out. But that's not a permanent one. So I don't know what the dangers are of fighting with a permanent contact lens in there. It must be something behind.
It's unfortunate because I would have loved to see that fight.
Yeah, that would have been a good fight. A bit of a height difference, but I'm glad Mikaela Mayer is still able to fight on the card. It'll be interesting to see how she's looking. She obviously had that defeat to Baumgardner. And that was a great fight as well, and there's been a lot of beef between the two, so Mikaela Mayer wanted to get that rematch on, but it doesn't look like Baumgardner wants to give it to her at the moment.
To be fair, it was close. It could have gone either way.
Close. Yeah, I changed my mind during that fight as to, when you watched it back, it was kind of...
See, I called that fight, and I still changed my mind. I still thought Mikaela Mayer won. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, see, I went the other way. I thought Mikaela Mayer won when I first watched it, and then I watched it back, and you see the work that Baumgardner was doing. It was a lot of great work. I gave it to Baumgardner when I watched it back. So But I think the plan is for Mikaela Maya to move up potentially. If she wins this, she's definitely got the height for it.
Yeah.
And then on the card, we've got Moses Atuma as well. It's a great prospect there. Frank Warren's prospect. He's a lot of people singing his praises. Great amateur record. Good to see him again.
Going for Mike Tyson's record, aren't they?
Yeah, he wants to be the youngest guy to get a heavyweight title. I'll be interested in seeing if that happens. And then we've also got Denzel Bentley as well, making a return after his last fight, his last loss. So he'll be wanting to get a win. He's an exciting fighter as well, and heavily liked by Frank Warren and Queensbury Promotions. And he will be wanting to build for the future. So yeah, it's a good card. I'll be interested to see how it all goes. Yeah, before we go, do you reckon there's any sort of thing into that whole heavyweight tournament in Saudi? Do you reckon there's anything there?
No, I can't see it. I think
pipe dream.
I think Simon Jordan was just Simon Jordan was running out of things to talk about, like how Hearn mugged him off. Like he didn't.
Yeah, he's trying to make himself relevant.
Yeah. Get those numbers up, innit?
Or is it a deflection tactic? Because there's a lot of heat on Tyson Fury for supposedly ducking that Usyk fight.
True. It is true.
Is it something that maybe Frank Warren slipped to Simon Jordan to say?
Fury is his mate.
There's a tournament and Tyson Fury will be fighting there, trying to deflect things a bit from the heat that was on Tyson Fury.
It's possible. I would love it though.
I love a good conspiracy theory. I love a good conspiracy.
How sick would that be if there was a tournament like that? Though?
I don't actually want to see it, to be honest.
You don't want it?
Yeah, well, look at it this way. Look.
All them fights in one night, that'd be wicked.
We got to where we needed to get to. You just needed to see Tyson Fury fight Usyk. Then you know who's the best. That's the answer. Why do we need to see it again?
Well, there was the talk of Joshua fighting Wilder though as well. So I'd still like to see the outcome.
Yeah, I'd want to see that fight, but you don't need to see that in the tournament. What if you've got Tyson Fury fighting Wilder again? I don't want to see that again.
Nah, I don't want no part of that.
Or Usyk versus Joshua again. I don't really want to see that again, not at the moment. So it sort of defeats the point of a whole tournament.
It's true.
If you were going to get those fights, Tyson Fury versus Usyk and Wilder versus Joshua like that, then I don't mind seeing that. But I don't really want to see Tyson Fury versus Wilder 4. So, and then before we run out of time, they're saying that Joshua doesn't want to fight until December, or speculation is there's something there. I don't know.
I'm calling bull. I reckon he fights summer.
It could be just a negotiation tactic. Maybe Dillian White wants too much money because he was potentially being lined up to fight Dillian White in the summer. Maybe he's pricing himself out, and Joshua might have said, you know what, I ain't going to fight until December, so just try and get the price down.
I don't know, man. I reckon they're just trying to offer a little bit of a smokescreen so they can get some big fights in the works. Because with so much media hype, I don't think they can make any fight happen at the moment. It's just stupid.
One more thing that hasn't been talked about, and I think it's a big thing, Crawford versus Errol Spence. Maybe that's close to being finalised. And Derek James needs to work with Errol Spence, and he will want to prioritise that fight for him, because he's been working obviously with Errol Spence for a long time. So
that's true.
He's just done the fight with Joshua, so maybe they've made an agreement that he would spend that time and focus on Errol Spence. So if that happens, yeah, exactly. No, people, you need to think outside the box. So. Anyway, hit that like button, subscribe. Let's get to 200 subscribers.
Let's do it, people. Peace.